What is up, YouTube? Pieface Guy 9000 here. Um, in keeping with my tradition of uploading something for a subscriber special, um, I know I haven't done an actual video in 3 or so weeks, maybe more, maybe less. So it's been quite a while since I actually uploaded a video. Well, not a video that's formatted like this, not just any kind of video. So I was not feeling too good for these past couple weeks, and that's why I wanted to sort of make this video, is because um the music thing is fine and all, but um I also feel like it kind of strips my channel's aesthetic of like these kinds of videos, because these are the kinds of videos that I'm used to making. But um I definitely want to um I definitely want to continue this whole music thing for a respectable amount of time. So I mean, I each and every day I'm finding a different song to use. I'm finding a different way to make it. It's just it's a kind of weird thing to jump from a modest type of video to something that I've found a lot of success in probably a year. I mean, I've been writing this success for over a year now, and I never would have stopped to a thought. I never would have stopped to a thought that in 2018, when I uploaded my first video and I had 5 subscribers, I would come here almost nearly 4 years later, have 160 subscribers, and be pretty successful with this whole music thing. I never would have anticipated it, and I know it may not seem like a big deal on paper, but to me it's such a big deal that I went from 5 subscribers, uploading barely any content, the really shitty content, and pardon me for saying it, but the really just god awful content that most people are kind of like not culturally accepting anymore, like kind of just the crappy DIY videos, mostly just stuff like that. So um I just got the urge to upload again, um mostly seeing as how a lot of people are not too happy that I ate a bowl of panko breadcrumbs for breakfast. I don't know why, but hey, whatever. Anything goes, I guess. You see what I did there? Because why? Um, anyways, I had the urge to upload a video today, mostly talking about some of this, because I didn't feel like it was a good foot to end off on, because I do this thing where I upload consistently over the span of a couple days, then I kind of just stop. And what do I do in that span of time? I don't know. Mostly just finding new songs, trying to think of new video ideas. And I don't want to be the kind of person who tries to use the same format as some YouTubers like Mr. Beast. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go over the top with all that stuff. And Mr. Beast is a respectable person. I respect him. Therefore, I feel like I'm not doing a justice to a few set numbers of good YouTubers by using their format of, I did this for X amount of money, you know. I did this trend for hell's sake, you know. I feel like I'm not doing a good thing when I try and use that format, and I've never tried using that format. Actually, now that I think of it, I have tried that format once or twice, and it just flopped. So now that I think of it, yeah, I have tried that format, but I've also done it really poorly, and I think that's why I wanted to stop doing that format of videos. So the movie is barely scraping along. It was either, I'm pretty sure it was last Thursday, I found the original mask that I was going to use for the film. Where was it? It was next to my bed in a cardboard box. It was not hidden. It was not anywhere elaborate. It was next to my bed in a cardboard box. And ooh, that kind of got at me because I wasted $30-$40 buying a new one when all I had to do was look in a cardboard box beside my bed, and it just really got at me. So now I guess I have two masks. So I can't even find the one I just bought. I know where the old one is, but I have no idea where the new one is, and that doesn't feel like a good thing. So if and when I find the new one, I'm hoping that I could use one of them to cut up and pretty much ruin for the sake of the film, and then keep the original for the two other installments. Now, I don't want to focus on the two other installments for part one when I only have one scene done for I only have one scene done for the first installment. So I definitely want to try and keep a consistent schedule in terms of uploading and trying to keep this movie in its prime-esque days. I mean, it's just not going too good. What else was I gonna say? So, also regarding the ships that I was building, I've recently got a new idea that I feel like would be a good idea on paper, but in fruition may not be kind of what I was expecting, and that would be the also I'm not sure if I have the authority to do this. So I'm gonna try and keep it unofficial, but I want to try and create a new class of ships that would be the commercial service ship or vessel, so CSS or CSV, so commercial service vessel. So I feel like the RMS Ulysses won't be doing mail services, so it doesn't make sense to call it a Royal Mail ship in opposed to a commercial service ship, which it will be. So now we have the CSV Ulysses, and I've also got a new idea, the CSV Maverick, which I was thinking about this, and I was trying to contemplate, okay, what would this be like? What would be the best approach here? So I kind of figured, well, I'm a fan of the Bismarck. I appreciate the Titanic style. So I thought to myself, and I was like, Titanic meets the 1940s. What do you get? RMS or CSV Maverick. So it's still going to have it's going to have a distinguishable shape of the Titanic. Like, when you look at the Titanic, you don't think to yourself, that's some random ship I've never seen before. You recognize the Titanic when you see it. So you'll definitely be able to recognize little bits and pieces here and there, but I also want to incorporate a lot of different ships. So Titanic, Bismarck, a little bit of Nantucket, because the Nantucket was actually a really big part of the Olympic class's career. So I definitely feel like incorporating a couple of known ship styles and meshing that together into one could be a relatively good idea. Now, how I'm gonna pull this off, I have no idea. So I definitely want the Ulysses class to be a huge focal point in this shipbuilding, because this is where most of my ideas for shipbuilding and fascination in shipbuilding stems from, is the Titanic. So it's not gonna be the Titanic. It's gonna be an inspired by Titanic. So, I mean, the beauty of the Olympic class is unmatched to pretty much anything else that exists currently. I mean, modern cruise ships, yeah, it's fine. It's an egregious use of money for a ship, honestly. I mean, the Titanic was smaller, in my opinion, but the Titanic was small, but it was still Herculean in size. A human compared to the Titanic is a tiny little ant. And then you have cruise ships that are built for thousands of people. Well, technically, so was the Titanic. So, yeah, it's technically thousands. You look at the Titanic. The Titanic is this tiny speck, and then you have a cruise ship here. So it doesn't make sense to me, at least, why have a tiny ship that can still hold people, as well as have a lot of activities, because the Titanic had a lot of amenities, like the squash court. I still have no idea what a squash court is. I'm pretty sure it's like a early 1900s ball game that you would play. There wasn't a lot to do, so in that time period, because there wasn't phones, there wasn't internet, there wasn't much of anything, so you had to think of what you wanted to do in that time period. And yeah, cruise ships are fine in my opinion, but now you have so much stuff done for you on a cruise ship that people kind of forget what the Titanic was like. And I feel like forgetting the Titanic is kind of impossible, since it's probably one of the biggest things in maritime history since 1912. So forgetting the Titanic in probably a couple hundred years seems likely, but as of right now, no, the Titanic is still pretty fresh. I mean, is it disintegrating at a alarming rate at the middle of the North Atlantic? Yeah, but Titanic is still there. It still exists. A lot of the Olympic class still exists, and that's one of the things that I kind of want to incorporate, is that the Olympic class still technically exists. There's a lot of Olympics interiors still around. I mean, somebody on eBay is selling one of Olympics Grand Staircase windows for $13,000. So if I can scratch together enough money to afford one of those, yeah, I'd love to have it in my household. But that's one of my points, is that a cruise ship is way too large. It's an egregious use of money, and it does not last as long. The Titanic was built to last. I believe it's 111 or 110 years later, and the Titanic is still around. You can still go to the Titanic, in opposed to most cruise ships today, which kind of get scrapped. And no, I did not intentionally make myself look like Cal for this. My hair is just not wanting to behave today. So, this is my main point. I don't want them to be ridiculously large. I definitely want them to hold people, maybe a little bit of cargo, but I don't want a huge ship that's gonna put me out of house and home. So, in a sense, I'm trying to do Titanic an homage, but I'm also trying to do a lot of other ships an homage by this. So, yeah, that's 14 minutes worth of me babbling about nonsense. This has been PieFaceGuy 9000. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.